What's going on, YouTubers? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to Impact Wrestling Review, the show from August 26, 2021. Now, as I mentioned, this room pertains to Emergence, where it pertains to the commentators, but Matt Striker and D'Lo Brown were your commentators from there. And on in this show, there are the exact commentators for this as well. No Josh Matthews, thank God, especially on the show, thank God. Because of what's going on with those certain factions name that just found out about, which we'll get to. Because I barely pay attention to it at all, because I don't care, but we'll get to that. But they're at the Skyway Studios in Nashville, Tennessee, and let's get right into it. This was a fallout. What happened at Emergence of 2021? So the opening match was Chris Sabin versus Sami Callihan, and the match I thought was great match between the two guys, with Chris Sabin getting the win over on Sami Callihan. Um, which I was shocked to see that. Sami Callihan losing to Chris Sabin, putting low Chris Sabin. And like, where's all this push coming all of a sudden for Chris Sabin? Oh my god, like he's getting all these wins on Moose, he's getting all these wins on TV, he's getting all these wins on Sami Callihan. Like, what's going on? Is he gonna get another run up for the Impact World title match? Is that what's gonna happen? Is that where we're going with Chris Sabin? He's getting opportunities to becoming an Impact World Champion. To try again with him. This guy, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with the Chris Sabin push thing of him winning matches. But then all of a sudden you got Moose attacking Chris Sabin, and he goes targeting on Sami Callihan. He gets a steel chair and a baseball bat. Do the same thing what happened with Eddie Edwards back in 2018 between Sami Callihan, what he did with Eddie Edwards. So then Eddie Edwards comes out, speaking of which, comes out for the save for Sami Callihan to take out Moose. And there you go. And we'll get to more of that later. Because also we get to Taylor Wilde, because apparently she requests a match with Caleb, Tina Dashwood, and Madison Rain, and they're known as the Influence. The influence of what? Being boring. Well, Madison Rain is not boring, but the other two are boring. And the fact that Madison Rain is with these two, it just drops her influence of her personality drop down 6 feet, because this is going to be a dead faction no one's going to give a fuck about. The Influence. Yeah, it gives me the influence to change on the channel on these guys now. That's the type of influence they give me. But Taylor Wilde talks about being interviewed by Gina Miller. That she requested it because she thinks that there's something with her and Master Rain was just a 1-on-1 match, but it was actually all 3-on-1 matches that all those more like it. So she's like, you know what, let's continue on this own just 3-on-1 situation where she wants them in a handicap match, and that's basically it. So and then it's just said, let's get wild. So there you go. Also, we get A. telling Sami Callihan, because they bump into each other, talking about how they don't need each other, something like that. But basically A. was letting him know that you help me out, I help you out, and that hopefully that means you can stay out of business from now on from here on, and that was it. They're gonna become a tag team. That's basically what they're doing here. I think they're gonna be a tag team, which I'll be fine with. If they're gonna become tag team champions, to go up against the good person, take the belts off them at Bound for Glory, I'm all for it. I say do it. Go all the way with them being a tag team. I'm fine with Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan being a tag team, despite me not liking Eddie Edwards gimmick right now, which is run its course. But if you're gonna have Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan be a tag team partner, I'll be fine with him sticking with this whole gimmick of his, with him acting crazy and everything and all, because you know, with regards to Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan, they're meant to be together. Just matter pertains to them feuding for a long time, and with them being being an alliance. They're meant to be together, which is why they're in the same company. So there you go. Mickey James, she came out there, hardcore country. She promotes her NWA Power pay per view, which is an all woman pay per view, which I already covered that already, folks. Supposed to show my review. You already know I covered that already. And she's hyping up and everything. And all of a sudden, she showed a video package which is to Deon Prazo being the Impact Knockouts champion versus Molina, which is the match that's got Emergence, which I already covered that too. And Deon Prazo comes out in the rub, basically saying to Mickey James, how's it feel when someone interrupts you, and everything. And basically tells Mickey James that she's giving off the wrong impression that her knockouts title defense against the legendary Molina will be competition. Competitive, I meant to say. Mickey James is unsure if Deon Peraza is, you know, capable of defeating Molina without the help of Matthew Railroad. And also, Deon Peraza goes to attack on Mickey James, just let Trey Miguel come out for the save, and Molina as well. Basically taking out Deon Peraza and Matthew Railroad, and that was it. No one said about that. Basically, with Jason Molina and Deon Peraza, that was all the build up, the final build up for Emergence. I mean, for Empowerment to say. Empower. In case I said Emergence from earlier when Mickey James was promoting NWA all the peer review. So if I did say Emergence, I apologize. So Mickey James was promoting NWA's Empower, the all woman pay per view. So there you go. I love this segment, by the way. So we get a segment where Brian Myers presents How to Be a Professional, Chapter 31. Gear, customization. So this was funny too, by the way. So I got the both back to by the way, which is to Brian Myers doing this whole thing of teaching Sam Pugh how to be a professional. So the most professional wrestler teaches Sam Pugh how to cut the sleeves off of the t-shirt, right? And then Sam Pugh brings up the fact that I thought your lessons must bring up of you losing the Impact or title match in the main event. And then Brian was denying any of him losing, Emergence, which it was comical the way it was presented. It was entertaining. See, I find this more entertaining than the influence faction of Tino Dashwood, Caleb, and Madison Rain. So Brian Myers, ignores some of that and everything, and announces an open an open casting call to find more people like Sam Beal who can share this wealth of information with pertains to how to be a professional. And basically, Sam Beal also came up with some other points too. That way, is that why can't you just buy a shirt that has no sleeves on there? Which he's right. There are shirts out there with no sleeves too and all. And Brian Myers had that look in his face. Yeah, he's like, it's not about the shirts. it's not about the sleeves and everything. And then when it gets to the sleeves, he's like, you take the sleeve and put on your head and everything. You know, oh my god, it was just fun. It was funny, man. This is comedy gold. If anything that's sports entertainment, that's well done. This is something that you could see that's sports entertainment, not what WWE is trying to portray sports entertainment is in pro wrestling. So yeah, there you go. Chris Bay versus David Finlay. A match I thought was pretty good. Now Chris Bay ends up winning the match. Now I don't remember it was some kind of distraction or he cheated to win. Oh yeah, actually, yeah, he did. He cheated to win. He missed the ropes for leverage. So I wasn't that okay with the finish, but Chris Baker did get the win. On Dave Finlay, which was a good match. So there you go. Oh, sorry about the folks. I don't know what happened there. Rich Swann and Willie Mack. Yeah, they sent a message to the Impact World Tag Team Champions in the main event, which is an all-time match. Yeah. I'm going to say about that. So, it was a right promo though. But I just don't remember how it was delivered. Which is to how it was said. X-Division Championship. The X-Division Champion, excuse me. Josh Alexander reflects on his victory over on Jake Something at Emergence. He was being interviewed by Jim Miller for this one, where the match was had the wrestling world buzzing. And then Jim Miller asked him, who has he have in mind for the next challenger? And he announces that he's going to do an open challenge for any former exhibition champions to accept his challenge on the next Impact Wrestling show, which I cannot wait to see who's going to be on the one to, to call for that of his invitation of the open challenge. It could be any former exhibition champions. It could be Chris Sabin. It could be P. Williams. It could be TJP. But then again, TJP was manic, so I wouldn't count him. But then again, you got Suicide. You got Mason Red. Actually, I don't remember if he ever was exhibition champion, but I digress. Maybe it could be a Giolito, which I'm reaching. um, who knows? We'll see. We shall see. Or we're gonna find out. Hey, maybe it could be Brian Cage because with him being buried on AEW, why not bring him back to Impact Wrestling? Hey, Brian Cage, how about you going crawling back to Impact Wrestling and then take him back? Since they book they in AEW they're booking you like shit. Because in Impact Wrestling you was booked like you were a main event player. But on AEW you've been booked like shit. So it is what it is. But we'll see. The Impact World Champion Christian Cage comes into the Impact Zone. He addresses the whole thing of his victory over Brian Myers at Emergence. But also in his next Impact World title defense against Ace Austin, who's number contender, and he'll be facing him at Victory Road, which that's great. The next Impact Plus event before we get to Bound for Glory. So this is basically on the final stop of Victory Road. I mean, Victory Road is gonna be the final stop, the final road before we get to Bound for Glory, which is gonna be in October. As far as Victory Road, it's gonna be in September. I just don't know what's the date. But I'll keep on looking for that. Also, Tommy Dreamer comes out and he praises Christian Cage of his incredible success since returning to pro wrestling. Dreamer says he makes points of thanking him for representing Impact Wrestling like a true champion should, and says that while he hasn't earned it yet, he would like to face Christian Cage one more time, basically one more match against him for a title, like back in the old days of ECW. That's the one I don't think I remember. Not the original ECW, obviously, because that was in the '90s. I'm talking about the the WWE's ECW, the new breed ECW, the WWE watered down version of ECW. So also Ace Austin comes out with Batman Fulton, interrupts, saying Ace Austin that he claims that he will be the youngest Impact World Champion in history at Victory Road, and Ace throws first, Christian Cage made some smart remarks onto to Ace Austin. I don't remember what it was, but that was enough for Ace Austin to do a punch at Christian Cage, and a brawl started breaking out where Christian Cage and Tommy Dreamer took out both Ace Austin and Matt Fulton. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, folks. Matt Fulton's supposed to be built like a monster, and he gets watered down. This is a watered down monster that Matt Fulton has become. This is a show of what he was after the whole OVE thing has ended. So then we get to Eric Young. We get to the segment with Fun by Design. Eric Young blames Rhino for failing to recapture the Impact World title at Emergence, and then as a result, Fun by Design must clearance him in the holy water of change. And we'll see how that turns out. Ace Austin complains to Scott Demoy, the executive vice president of Impact Wrestling, that he demands a match against Tommy Dreamer, and he's going to get it. And Scott Demoy says, but if Tommy Dreamer beats you, then he's going to be added to the match at Victory Road, and it'll be a three-way match for the Impact World title. So there you go. Just like back in the old days of when you have Christian Cage, well, NWE, ECW, it was Christian, Tommy Dreamer, and Jack Swagger for the ECW championship, I should say. I was going to say AEW. No, AEW was kind of around that time, which it was, by the way. But I digress. So Ted Wild versus the Influence. Madison Rain, Tim Ashwood, and Caleb. Caleb with the most ridiculous outfit I've ever seen, with his neck brace, trying to be like Andy Kaufman, and the bow tie, trying to be like some guy. I trying to remember who he was from ECW. Caleb looks ridiculous. WWE will hire someone like him to dress up like that, and he'll be okay with it. But I didn't care about the match. The Influence wins because of course they did. And on top of that, Tay can't win against three people. It's impossible. So they start bringing her up. I think myself, okay, who's gonna come out, right? Maybe it was someone new into the roster. Um, maybe it will be the Inspiration, which is Casey Lee and uh, Jesse McKay. I think that's her name. Basically the former Peyton Royce and Billy Kay of the former Iconics. Maybe they'll come in to help out Taylor Wilde, but instead it was Jordan Grace and Richard Ellerby instead. Yeah, which is whatever, whatever. And that's gonna be the program. So now Brandi Lauren was brought in to be interviewed by GMO, which is her match against Molina, and she was talking for a little bit. All of a sudden we get some interruptions of Su Young, and I say to myself, oh no. Now I'm not saying that because it's I'm irritated and I'm sick and tired of Su Young. I love Su Young. I love the character of Su Young. I love this the undead bride. I was saying oh no because I knew what was gonna happen. Like what happened with Kier Hogan, I knew what was gonna happen here. So GMO was running away, and all of a sudden we see Kimberly coming out of nowhere, and then Brandi Lauren started running away, and all of a sudden she gets stopped by who blocked her way to exit out the exit of Su Young. Su Young was blocking her exit, Brandi Lauren, and then all of a sudden she got caught by Kimberly, Manable Club, whatever, and basically Brandi. I'm assuming Brandi Lauren has been killed off of Impact programming. Fuck this company. Here we are. I thought I was gonna give her a second chance here. Which is her second term to be in this company. First term, she was Ava Story. I think before that she was Brandy's Story. I think it was, and then she became Ava Story. I can't remember because they want to allow her to be called. I'm sorry, it was either Ava. I can't remember. I can't remember anymore. But I remember they had to change her name to Ava Story because Brandy Rose at the time was there in Pepper as well, and she was there too. Brandi Lauren. And now that she's there, I thought maybe this could be her second chance, her second opportunity to shine in the market division. And with her improving, because when she first started, she was fucking green as fuck. She just started, and she was trained by Jay Lethal. And the fact that she came back and all that, was giving her a second chance. And then she had a turbo match against Molina, which wasn't. I don't blame her. I'm mostly blame Molina than I did blame Lauren. But yeah, I'm thinking to myself, all right, this is good. This could be an opportunity for Brandi Lauren to show everyone Impact Wrestling what she's made of. And then this shit happens. Fuck you, Impact Wrestling. Unless I'll take that back by having her become the sexy bride, a zombie type of like thing that or bridesmaid, whatever. I'll be okay with that if that's gonna be idea of that. Other than that, if I don't see if I don't see any of that on the next Impact Wrestling show, then yeah, I'm right back to that bandwagon of fuck you, Impact Wrestling. That was so stupid. You couldn't have done it with someone else. Anyone else you couldn't have done. You could sacrifice to the lambs. And you had to be someone that Jelito trained. Fuck you. And fuck this Kimberly being Su Young wannabe. It's just ridiculous. But hey, there's no more Susan, right? I shouldn't be complaining because there's no more Susan. Believe me, no one's more happier that Susan's gone than me. I mean, who's next? You gonna bring in? You gonna bring in someone that I also love too, that I also like, I'm a fan of, and you're gonna kill her off too. Is that what we're gonna be doing with Su Young and Kimberly having lines of my favorite women's wrestlers coming into Impact Wrestling, and they're gonna kill them off? You ready there with Kiera Hogan? You ready there with Brandi Lauren? Who's next? TJP being interviewed by G Miller because he has a match against Steve Macklin. It was like an open challenge that he did on before the Impact and lost. And then Pete Williams came out there to help him out because Steve Macklin was going to take him out. However, TJP was not happy about that. He didn't ask for no help. And basically, Pete Williams then came and interrupted on the interview. And basically, he's like, he wanted what's going on. TJP, like, why acting like this? And TJP tells Pete Williams that he doesn't need help. He doesn't need any of his help. Both of them at this point agreed to stay out of each other's businesses and all that, and that was basically it. So I'm gonna say about that. Whatever. If it's I don't know if it's me TJP's gonna turn heel, however. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. I really don't know what they're doing with TJP. Maybe he'll come back to be Manic. Might as well. You know, I mean, he's wearing a Manic T-shirt. Maybe that's a sign. Chelsea Green. So Chelsea Green lays the challenge for you know Rajul and Shira to go up against Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green. Yeah, so Chelsea Green's going to be in the match. With Matt Cardona to go up against Shira and Rajul. We'll see how that turns out. Maybe she'll bring in the hot mess version of herself. We'll see. Tasha Steeles is furious with Falaba. Basically, she's been interviewed with Gia Miller, who has Santana Evans with her, and pertains to the whole decay thing with the when like where she could have opportunity to on the to beat decay, with doesn't matter if she pinned Havoc or Rosemary, just like again a shot at the tag titles, and then Falaba comes in with No Way Jose, or should I say So Trash Jose, and basically try to to claim that he will make it up for her by having No Way Jose, or should I say, no, So Trash Jose, and himself, Falaba, to take out Black Taurus and Crazy Steve on the next Impact Wrestling show, so that when they do that, Tasha Steeles and Savannah Evans can go after Rosemary and Havoc. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but we'll see how it turns out. Main event time for the. I mean, it was for the Impact World titles. I mean, it wasn't for the Impact World Tag Team titles, I should say, but it was the Impact World Tag Team champions, the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Rich Swann and Willie Mack. In the match, I thought was decent, with Rich Swann and Willie Mack winning the match. After the match, though, the Good Brothers attacked Rich Swann and Willie Mack, and basically just destroyed them. Um, I can't remember if one of them used a steel chair, but one of them used a table to do the black, the black. I was gonna say the black magic. I meant to say the magic killer. I meant to say onto we Mac onto a table. But first he did it on the I'm on steel. Oh yeah, on the steel chair. I meant to say. Let me see. Oh yeah, the Summer Swan head first to the steel chair. Okay, it was Summer Swan that did it too. And then with Mac was put to a table um by the Good Brothers. Basically it was like although it was basically a power bomb. That's what it was. I thought it was like a magic killer, but it did do magic killer though. More chance to put at, you know injuries, adding insult to injuries, whatever. But more chance to Willie Mack, he was put to a table by a power bomb, and that's how the show ended. But the Good Brothers looking dominant and looking dangerous and everything. looking serious, and that's the Goobers that I miss seeing, not the Goobers that that are a bunch of goofballs with Doc Gallows, sticking his the title belt and swinging it back and forth like his that's supposed to be his dick, or the stuff they do with the Elite. But there you go. That was it, folks. That was Impact Wrestling. The show again from August 26, 2021. Okay. I was going. I thought that was a match there, but that wasn't a match actually. That was a segment. So I guess there were four matches on the show, if I recall, because segments that went wrong, which I didn't mind it. I was enjoying those segments. Um, but yeah, it was four matches on Brutal Time out for it. And my overall rating for the show, I'm gonna go with a 7.5 out of 10. So yeah, there you go. Good show. Despite my nitpicks of the show as well. But that being said, thank you all for watching, folks. As I play, I should already finished catching up of Pepper some reviews. Now it's AW's turn because we're getting close to all out. So that being said, thank you all for watching. For It's the Natural Born Gorilla saying peace on the streets. Y'all take care.